Okay, this is test number 1. This is part 2. We're going in the textbook. It's through section 5.6. Number 16 says, find the x and y intercept of the line given. 2x plus 3y equals negative 18. In order to find your x-intercept, you need to plug in 0 in place of y. So what you have is 2x plus 3 times 0 equals negative 18. Anytime you multiply anything times 0, it cancels it out. So what you're left with is 2x equals negative 18. And to get x by itself, you divide by 2 to cancel it out. If you divide the left by 2, you do the same thing to the right. X-intercept equals negative 9. That's your x-intercept. In order to find your y-intercept, you plug in 0 in place of the x. So you have 2 times 0 this time, plus 3 times y equals negative 18. Remember, you plug in 0 of the opposite one. 2 times 0 cancels it out and leaves you with 3y equals negative 18. To get y by itself, divide by 3 on both sides, and it'll cancel that out. Y-intercept will be negative 6. So your x-intercept is negative 9, and your y-intercept is negative 6. You do likewise with number 17. In order to find your x-intercept, plug in 0 in place of y. So 4x minus 6 times 0, cancel that part out and leave you with just 4x equals 24. And in order to get x by itself, divide by 4 on both sides. X equals 6 is your x-intercept. In order to find your y-intercept, plug in 0 in place of x. So 4 times 0, cancel that part out and just leave you with negative 6y equals 24. Divide by negative 6 on both sides to cancel it out, and y's value will be negative 4. So your x-intercept for number 17 is 6, and your y-intercept is negative 4. For number 16, again, your x-intercept is negative 9, and your y-intercept is negative 6. Okay, then we have some graphing to do. Number 18 and 19 are in point slope form, 18 and 19. We haven't graphed from this form, so we need to get it into a form we're more comfortable with, and we're capable of doing that. Take that point slope form and create slope intercept form with it. You have negative 1 in front of the x minus 4. So distribute negative 1 times x, and you'll get negative x, and negative 1 times negative 4, and you'll get plus 4. So in the second step, you're left with y plus 2 equals negative x plus 4. We wanted to say y equals, we want slope intercept form, we wanted to say y equals mx plus b. So we need to isolate y. We need to get it by itself. We need to get rid of that y plus 2 by subtracting it. If you subtract 2 on the left, you have to do the same thing on the right. It'll cancel it out and leave you with just y equals negative x plus 2. And that is y equals mx plus b, with your negative 1 not being shown. Your m value is negative 1, and your b value is 2. So you have your slope and you have your y-intercept. We have to graph that. Your b value tells you where to start. It tells you to begin at y's value of positive 2. So where your y-axis is the one going up and down, put your first point at 2. Your slope is negative 1. That's negative 1. Everything is over 1. Negative 1 slope tells you to go up or down. Negative 1 tells you to go down first. And then positive 1 on the right tells you to go to the right one time. So down once and to the right one time, and put your second point and graph through your 2 points. Or draw your line through your 2 points. For number 19, distribute negative 5 over 4 to both x and 1. So negative 5 over 4 times x will be negative 5 over 4x. And negative 5 over 4 times 1 will be minus 5 over 4. So you have y minus 2 equals negative 5 over 4, x minus 5 over 4. In order to get rid of divide by 4, multiply the entire equation by 4. So 4 times y will give you 4y. 4 times negative 2 will be minus 8 equals negative 5 over 4 times 4 will cancel it out and just leave you with negative 5x. And negative 5 over 4 times 4 will cancel out and just leave you with minus 5. So in the next line, you have 4y minus 8 equals negative 5x minus 5. Still wanted to say y equals mx plus b. So move negative 8 on over to the other side by adding 8. If you add it on the left, add it to the right. And you have 4y equals negative 5x plus 3. Then get y by itself by dividing by 4. If you divide the left side by 4, you need to divide everything on the right side by 4. And y equals negative 5 over 4x plus 3/4. So now you have mx plus b. Your m value is negative 5 over 4, and your b value is 3 over 4. So we use that to graph our equation. So on your coordinate plane, your b value tells you where to start on your y-axis, tells you to start at 3/4. So where it's almost 1, you want to put your first point. Right past halfway and not quite to 1. Your slope tells you negative 5 over 4. That tells you to go down 5 times and to the right 4 times. So down 5 and to the right 4 times. So we need to make sure you have enough space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So down 5 and to the right 4 times for your second point. Once you have 2 points, draw your line through that, you'll have a negative slope. Number 20 and 21 are a whole lot quicker to graph. Y's value equals 4. So on your coordinate, on your Cartesian plane, where y's value, that's the one going up and down, 1, 2, 3, 4, is you want to have a horizontal line going across. So at y equals 4. For x equals 3, where your x value is 1, 2, 3, you want to have a vertical line going up and down for x equals 3. So 20 was horizontal and x and 21 is vertical. 22, it says write an equation in point slope form given the slope and the point, or given the point and the slope that you have. For point slope form, the form itself is y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. So what you want to do is you want to write y minus and skip yourself a little space equals, skip another space, and then x minus one more space and close your parentheses. So y minus y sub 1, y sub 1's value is negative 6. Y minus a negative 6 equals m's value is next, and m's value is given to you is 3/5. Times x minus x sub 1's value is next, and that's minus 4. So you have y minus a negative 6 equals 3/5 times x minus 4. You need to get rid of y minus a negative 6 by making it plus a positive. Your final answer should be y plus 6 equals 3/5 times x minus 4. Again, y plus 6 equals 3/5 times x minus 4. Do the same thing with number 23, where you have negative 4, 7, and you have 5 over 8 as your slope. Y minus, skip a space, equals another space, x minus one more space. Y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. Negative 4 is your x sub 1, 7 is your y sub 1, and m is 5 over 8. So y minus y sub 1, y minus 7 equals 5 over 8 times x minus x sub 1, or x minus a negative 4. One change you got to make with this one, change x minus a negative 4 to plus 4. So y minus 7 equals 5 over 8 times x plus 4 is your final answer. Y minus 7 equals 5 over 8 times x plus 4. Number 24 says a line passes through 1, negative 5 and negative 3, 7. Write an equation for the line in point slope form. So you have a point, you need to find the slope. So again, your slope formula is the change of y over the change of x. So y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So if you label your points, x sub 1 is 1, y sub 1 is negative 5, x sub 2 is negative 3, and y sub 2 is 7. So when you plug those values in, y sub 2's value is 7, minus y sub 1 is a negative 5 over x sub 2 is negative 3 minus x sub 1 is 1. So 7 minus a negative 5 means 7 plus 5, which is 12. And negative 3 minus 1 will be negative 4. 12 divided by negative 4, your m value is going to be negative 3. So you have a slope, and you want to use the point 1, negative 5, because that's what we have labeled as x sub 1, y sub 1. From there, go ahead and write point slope form. Y minus, skip a space, equals, skip another space, x minus last space. Plug it in just like the last two problems. Y minus y sub 1, and y sub 1's value is 1, equals m's value we just found is negative 3 times x minus x sub 1. I'm sorry, I wrote that wrong. Y minus y sub 1's value is negative 5, equals negative 3 times x minus x sub 1 is 1. Then you have to change y minus a negative 5 to y plus 5 equals negative 3 times x minus 1. So the first answer for number 24, for 24A, your point slope form is y plus 5 equals negative 3 times x minus 1. Then B says rewrite it in slope intercept form. In order for you to do that, you need to multiply, or you need to distribute negative 3 to both terms. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x. Negative 3 times negative 1 is plus 3. And that's equal to y plus 5. Then get rid of y minus 5 by subtracting 5. If you do it on the left, you have to do the same thing on the right. You're left with y equals negative 3x minus 2. So your point slope form, again, the answer for A for number 24 was y plus 5 equals negative 3 times x minus 1. And the answer for B, your slope intercept form, y equals negative 3x minus 2. Number 25, you have to do likewise. You have to write in point slope form, then move it to standard form. So in order to find our slope, we'll do it a little quicker this time. Y sub 2 minus y sub 1 is 7 minus 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1, 9 minus 8. 7 minus 1 is 6 over 9 minus 8 is 1. So your slope is 6. When you write it in point slope form, when you're writing it in point slope form, it's y minus y sub 1. We have x sub 1, y sub 1 as 8, 1. So y minus 1 equals your slope, which is 6 times x minus x sub 1, which is 8. So your point slope form, your first answer for number 25, y minus 1 equals 6 times x minus 8. Then B says rewrite it in standard form using integers. In order to do that, you need to simplify it. 6 times x and 6 times negative 8. 6 times x is 6x. 6 times negative 8 is negative 48 or minus 48. So you have y minus 1 equals 6x minus 48. Get rid of y minus 1 by adding it. Do the same thing to the other side. Y equals 6x minus 47. That's your second answer. Your first answer, again, to number 25, y minus 1 equals 6 times x minus 8. Your second answer, y equals 6x minus 47.